Welcome to Redneck News, where I'm going to tell you what's going on in the PC world right now, and just in general, some cool things that I'm seeing in the PC business right now. First, Intel's 14th gen, aka the Raptor Lake refresh, is coming on October 17th. Now, that's still preliminary and they haven't actually announced it yet, but supposedly they're going to announce it on the 16th and then release on the 17th for just the desktop K-series chips. So in this initial release on the 17th, you're only going to see the i5, i7, and i9 K and KF chips. Following along with this are also going to be a new refreshed version of the Z790 motherboard series, which will be able to utilize the new and faster DDR5 RAM. Some of these boards are boasting being able to support up to 12,000 mega transfers per second. To put that into perspective, today you can really only get up to about 7,200 without a special 2-DIMM motherboard. They're saying in the future, even 4-DIMM boards are gonna be able to go way above that. So let's talk a little bit about what 14th gen is. 14th gen was originally gonna be considered the Meteor Lake release, but this actually is now a refresh of the 13th gen, so it's gonna stay on the LGA 1700 socket, so the same one that 13th gen and 12th gen are on today. Which means that technically with a BIOS update, you can use your same B660, Z690, Z790 motherboard and be able to support using a 14th gen CPU. Although with the new DDR5 RAM that's gonna be coming out, you may wanna consider, if you're gonna spend the money on this CPU, to also upgrade to a refreshed Z790 motherboard. The 14700 now boasts 8 P cores and 12 E cores, putting it up to 20 total cores and 28 threads. And the K chip is reportedly listed at 125 watts. The 14900 series moves forward with 8 P cores and 16 E cores for a total of 24 cores, if you didn't know how to math that out. The biggest and honestly probably the least impressive part of this is the leaked pricing. The leaked pricing for these CPUs are listed as $480, $640, and $880 respectively. I did the math for you guys. Upon release of the 13th gen, that puts them at just over 50% more than their equivalent 13th gen CPU was when it was released. So if the leaks are true, that's gonna be a huge cost to go up to the 14th gen versus the 13th gen. So keep that in mind. That's gonna be right around the corner, especially once this video releases. The next thing that I've been seeing happen in 2023 are companies putting out what they're calling reverse fans. Now, Lee & Lee and Fantex have both put these out. I'm sure there will be more coming in the future, but essentially what this means is that no matter where your fan is placed in your case, whether it be intake or exhaust, you can always make sure that you get to see the pretty side of your fan through your case panel. Kind of like this one that I did for Spartacus earlier this year. Next, MSI quietly launched a new cheaper version of their 4070 and 4090 GPUs. These are called the Ventus Essential line. These GPUs were gonna have slightly different materials and they'll have different outputs. From what I've seen, they'll have a different number of display ports and HDMI ports versus what you see in their standard line. Talking about GPUs, there's been rumors all this year about an upcoming GPU shortage. Companies are buying out huge amounts of NVIDIA's ultra expensive H100 GPUs to use in LLM training, also known as large language modeling, aka AI modeling, which is a huge part of this AI growth, like ChatGPT and others. There's a lot of rumors that all of this can lead to a 2021 style GPU shortage. It's a different situation in terms of supply and demand from what we experienced in 2021, but likely it'll have the same outcome if it occurs. Higher prices, scalping, low inventory. Some companies have even turned to AMD GPUs for their LLM needs, which means this could be not just an NVIDIA shortage, but an AMD shortage as well. I know this has been talked about ever since AI started booming at the beginning of this year. Take this with a nice pinch of salt, but don't be overly surprised if you see GPU prices start going up and inventory start going down. The last thing I want to talk about, now that we're well into 2023, as a PC builder, I wanted to tell you guys what my favorite PC cases are in 2023. The first and what I'm calling the best overall PC case is the NZXT H9 Flow. It retails for $160 before taxes, and it's honestly just an amazing case. I mean, you can look at it right here. It's got beautiful construction. There's no metal piece between the glass panels, making it look nice and clean. There's lots of room for fans and radiators, and it's got an ideal location for the power supply to help with cable management, putting the power supply up high rather than down low. The one downside is that I have noticed that their glass panels tend to be a little bit more prone to cracking and chipping than other similar cases that I've worked with, but on the positive side, their replacement process and support is unbelievable. Incredibly quick response times, and in my experience, they've shipped out replacement panels within a week of me first filling out the support request. Top notch. The next one, what I'm calling the best mid-tower case, is the Lee & Lee LandCool 216. This case can be found for as little as $95 before taxes. It's well built, has sharp lines Looks really, really good with those unique 2 large RGB fans up front. There's plenty of room for a large GPU and AIO CPU cooler up on top. Not to mention it has really good airflow characteristics, and for something that comes with 3 fans, it's really reasonably priced. The last one, and one that sometimes can be hard to find, what I'm calling the best budget ATX case, is the AeroCool Aero 1 Eclipse. This case comes in at approximately $65 the last time I checked. And you can see an example of it here. It's got great looks, comes with 4 fans that have addressable RGB, it's got solid airflow, a PSU shroud to hide those cables, and it even has a PWM fan hub on the back of the case for controlling the fans. Well, that's it for the first edition of Redneck News. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's topics you guys want to hear in future releases, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.